LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all correct in literally one day.
A single tweet just exposed the secret civil war tearing the WNBA apart, and it's all centered around one name, Caitlin Clark. When A'ja Wilson, the league's reigning MVP, fired off a cryptic message online, she accidentally revealed the raw jealousy and frustration boiling just beneath the surface. The entire sports world is now asking the same question: is this a legitimate grievance from an underappreciated star, or is it just bitter envy of a rising queen? The answer is far more shocking and complex than you could ever imagine. The chaos started when news of Caitlin Clark's massive LPGA deal hit the press like a bomb. This wasn't just a small-time collaboration or a quick photo op. It was a full-blown, multi-million-dollar contract with the Ladies Professional Golf Association. The deal reportedly locks her in through the 2026 season, making her a cross-sport ambassador for female athletics. It was a power move that blew the doors off what anyone thought was possible for a basketball player, cementing her status not just as a WNBA star, but as a global marketing phenomenon. But while half the world was celebrating, the other half was loading their ammunition. That's when A'ja Wilson stepped into the ring. She is far too media trained to use Caitlin's name directly, but she didn't have to. Her tweet was a perfectly coded message, a digital grenade lobbed into the timeline for everyone to see. So you telling me you can miss shots and still get golf money? The internet immediately went into a meltdown. Fans instantly knew who she was targeting, and the replies were flooded with comments like, "Just say her name and go." That single sentence was a declaration of war, a signal to the entire league that the established guard was sick of being ignored, and what happened next would expose a painful divide.
In a previous video, how this Pro-Am event originally wasn't even going to be televised, but there were so many fans who were emailing the organization saying, how can we watch Caitlin? Can we come to the event? Can you live stream it? All of these things. And it ended up being put on television. And that was great. Fans were really excited about that. There was so much buzz online. She was trending on Twitter, all of the things. And the LPGA was promoting the crap out of this event. And they also did something really smart by pairing her up with their currently #1 golfer in the world.
The tweet ripped the curtain back on the brutal truth of the WNBA. A'ja Wilson has 2 MVP awards, multiple championships, and a Hall of Fame resume. Yet Caitlin Clark made more money from endorsements before her first professional game than Wilson has in years. It's a harsh reality that talent and titles are no longer the most valuable currency. In the modern world of sports, the only thing that matters is how many eyeballs you can command, and Clark commands an army. This financial gap isn't just a business issue, it's a deeply personal one, for players who feel their hard work has been completely devalued by a system that chases clicks over championships. This has split the league down the middle, creating a tense showdown between the old guard and the new star. Wilson represents the grind, the players who dominated the league for years with little mainstream attention. Clark represents the media's shiny new toy, a ratings machine beloved by sponsors. So when Clark, a basketball player, landed a massive golf deal, it felt like the ultimate insult. It was a sign that even in an entirely different sport, her name carried more weight than an MVP's trophy. That feeling of being made an extra in your own movie is where respect begins to curdle into resentment. The numbers behind the deal only made things worse. Rumors are swirling that Clark's LPGA partnership is worth somewhere between $6 and $8 million, spread over just 2 years. For perspective, that's more than 10 times the Supermax salary in the WNBA. Imagine being one of the best players in the world, winning championships for your city, and then watching a rookie sign a side deal for a sport she doesn't even play that dwarfs your entire career's on-court earnings. This isn't just about jealousy over money, it's about a system that seems to reward hype over history, a system where years of dominance are overshadowed by a single season of media frenzy. This explosion of frustration wasn't a one-time event, it was the culmination of simmering anger that has been building for over a year. Remember last season's WNBA Finals? A'ja Wilson's Las Vegas Aces won the championship, a historic back-to-back victory. But who was the top trending topic on social media that day? Caitlin Clark. That's the kind of thing that eats away at you. It sends a clear message that no matter what you accomplish, you will always be in her shadow. A'ja's tweet wasn't just about a golf deal. It was about a pattern of being overshadowed, of winning the biggest prize in her sport, only to have the media say, "Cool, now back to Caitlin's Instagram story." But here's what makes this situation even more explosive. Caitlin Clark's strategy of complete and utter silence. She never responds, never claps back, and never acknowledges the drama. While other players get dragged into messy Twitter fights that turn off sponsors, Clark just keeps her head down and signs another multi-million-dollar contract. Her PR clean image is exactly why brands are lining up to work with her. She's seen as safe, professional, and controversy-free, and her quiet hurts more than any trash talk ever could because it shows she's completely unbothered by the noise. Behind the scenes, this was no random deal. Insiders whisper that Nike was a key architect of the LPGA partnership. They aren't just building a basketball player, they're building a multi-sport icon, a modern-day Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders. They see Clark as someone who can sell shoes, golf clubs, and everything in between. This reveals the terrifying truth for her rivals. They are competing against a corporate machine designed to make one person a global brand. They're playing basketball, while Clark is playing a much bigger and far more lucrative game of corporate chess. After her tweet went viral, A'ja Wilson found herself in the middle of a public relations nightmare. She tried to walk it back, claiming it was all a joke and that people took it out of context. But it was too late. The internet had already passed its verdict. She was branded as bitter, insecure, and jealous. The narrative was set, an old star angry at a new one's success. This is the danger of speaking out in the social media age. Once the mob decides you're the villain, it's almost impossible to change their minds. Her attempt to control the narrative had failed, and she was now at the center of a storm she created. The conflict has also been weaponized by the fans, who have turned social media into a digital battlefield. Clark's supporters don't just celebrate her. Many of them use her success as a stick to beat down other players. Comments like she's the real face of the league or she's doing more for the WNBA than anyone else flood every post. While those statements may have some statistical truth, they're also gasoline on an already burning ego battle. On the other side, longtime WNBA fans defend Wilson and the veterans, accusing the newcomers of being bandwagoners who don't appreciate the league's history. This fan war is making the division between players even worse. Of course, the media machine is eating this all up. Every sports blog, podcast, and debate show is profiting from this controversy because it drives clicks and views. They frame it as a catfight, a dramatic rivalry between the old queen and the new princess. The league itself seems content to let it happen because controversy equals engagement. If the WNBA had a strong PR department, they would have immediately spun this into a marketing win about two dominant athletes. Instead, they let it fester into another Caitlin Verjoer, and you can bet every sponsor noticed. This entire situation has shattered the carefully crafted myth of the WNBA sisterhood. For years, the league has promoted an image of unity, of players banding together to fight for respect, better pay, and visibility. But Clark's unprecedented, individualistic success has exposed the cracks in that facade. The jealousy and resentment bubbling to the surface suggests that the sisterhood might have been more of a marketing slogan than a reality. It's easy to be united when everyone is struggling together. It's much harder when one person skyrockets to a level of fame and fortune the others can only dream of. What A'ja and other critics fail to realize is that they have fallen into a classic trap, the Streisand effect. Every time they mention Caitlin Clark, even indirectly, they add fuel to her. Their complaints become free marketing, making her an even bigger story. The more they talk about her getting all the attention, the more attention she gets. They are unknowingly becoming architects of the very empire they resent. It's a vicious cycle where their frustration only proves her market value. Meanwhile, Clark says nothing and watches her stock price soar with every headline. This puts the WNBA front office in a billion-dollar dilemma. Do they lean into the Caitlin Clark show and milk it for every penny, capitalizing on the unprecedented ratings and merchandise sales she brings? Or do they try to protect their veteran stars and promote the league more evenly, potentially leaving millions of dollars on the table? It's a dangerous game. If they go all in on Clark, they risk alienating the very players who built the league. But if they don't, they risk squandering a once-in-a-generation opportunity for growth. Right now, they're just watching from the sidelines, hoping the drama keeps people talking. This leaves A'ja Wilson at a critical crossroads, one that will define her legacy. She has two choices: keep firing off tweets that make her look bitter, or pivot and capitalize on the attention. She could launch her own podcast, start a brand, or sign a major deal that shows she's more than just the player who got mad online. Fans love authenticity, but they hate pettiness. If she's smart, she'll turn this moment into a power move. But if she continues down this path, she risks being remembered not as a two-time MVP, but as the rival who couldn't stand to see someone else shine brighter. So here we are, at a critical moment for the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is silently building a business empire that transcends sports, funded by the very brands her rivals wish they had. At the same time, the league's most decorated veterans are left venting their frustrations online, feeling disrespected and left behind. This tension could either be the catalyst that forces the WNBA to find a way to better market all its stars, or it could be the spark that ignites a locker room war and shatters the league's hard-won unity. Is Caitlin Clark's silent empire being built on the envy those she's leaving behind? And more importantly, will the league survive the fallout?